Hey, welcome to a new episode, a brand new episode thing of a Wizard's Lizard. What is this madness, you're asking? Well, this is not Dead in Vinland. This is not some cheeky, terrible animation. No, this is not any of those things. This is an old, very old game. What, about 3 or 4 years old now? Roguelite, roguelike, roguesque, roguish kind of game that I dabbled in a while back, and it just didn't strike my fancy. It didn't do anything for me, so to speak. It just kind of was there. Chose instead to dive right into a little game. You might not have heard of it, called The Binding of Isaac, and stuck with that game. Gave that my full attention for quite a while, and enjoyed every minute of it. Pretty much every minute of it, other than a couple of lost runs maybe. But other than that, yeah, every minute of it was great, and I feel like I've explored all there is to explore in that game, and it's left me even, although I mean honestly I haven't gotten everything because of the recent update, but I've explored everything that I feel a driving urge to do. A charm of haste, and the itch that I noticed, that the little irritation, the slight tickling of the skin that needs to be scratched is for another roguelite type game. You know, where we discover new floors, new items, new enemies, and new things all the time. You know, and never know what's around the corner. Never know what the next item, the next room, the next boss battle might bring. And we're going to try and get a little bit of that with a Wizard's Lizard. Right off the bat, I recognize and remember now exactly why this didn't strike my fancy so much, and it's a lot to do with the way the game controls, the way it handles, the way it feels. It was quite a lot of doesn't have the same floatiness, the movement, the attacks. None of it feels quite the same. Oh, I guess we're moving on. I did play one run. I don't know if you noticed that, but I had a death already off camera, and that was just to run through, did some of the tutorial type beginner stuff, and just to get a feel for what I was doing here before diving in on camera. So that single run happened not long ago, and needless to say, it ended in death somewhere in the cemetery. But yeah, so we're back, and we are going to explore this game and see exactly what it has to offer. One thing I'm just doing now for the first time is using the mouse here to aim, which feels a little bit cheaty, but also doesn't. Yeah, it kind of feels kind of natural. I'm not digging it, or I am digging it. I'm not minding it so much. See, this right here is a perfect example. What does this do? Don't know. Have no idea. We're going to play the game and we're going to find out. Those are the kinds of things I want to unlock and discover. I had that itch filled for quite a while also with Gungeon. That was another great game that took a bit of my time and a lot of my curiosity and need to explore and try new games and new mechanics and new lore, new character images and play styles. All that got scratched by Gungeon. Not nearly as deeply. It wasn't as satisfying a scratch as Isaac was, but a few games I think will be. So, but we're gonna do our best here to look. This guy looks terrified. What is his story? Let's find out. It took me a while too. I was really paranoid about these ghosts in that first run, but yeah, I guess they don't do anything. At least not yet. Thanks for saving me. I'll contribute 500 gold to support you in town. I guess that's going to up our starting gold, which is nice, I guess. Haven't used much way we go. There, yeah, like there are items. There are other characters. There are these soul blasts, which I assume are similar to bombs. These totems, which are like an item, but there are many different totems, it seems, throughout the game that all do various things and have various effects. Increased speed for this charm of haste. I never would have guessed. Thank you very much for telling me that. And then you can, as you can see, my little critter here is booming right along. Now, as for the lore of Wizard's Lizard, honestly, I don't remember. It seems like there was a wizard. We are the Wizard's Lizard, and he was possessed or somehow went bad or off the grid, so to speak, and we are going to die. Yeah. In our attempt to find him. Oh yes, this was the other mechanic I was not so sure of. Death is really just the beginning, it seems, in this game. But now we also have to face the ghosts. Is that what I'm understanding here? Oh, jeez. Mimic. Great. I wonder if that's because I'm a ghost, or is that... It's my first kill on a mimic. You just keep spawning endlessly? Oh, it's a spawner. Needs to be attacked. I did not see that before. Interesting. What are the buttons for the bomb, the soul blasts, and the totems? Don't remember. I will have to figure that out later and probably bind them to better keys. I think one's a Z. Yeah, one's a Z. Ooh, that health. A ghost can get health from an orange. That's nice. Good to know. We'll probably be making use of that. So now I've got to kill everything twice, basically. Is that what that means? Certain things twice. Tons of gold. Haven't found a shop yet. Okay, I gotta get used to those little pedestals on the side of that door, because apparently that means that it goes to the next level, and I may not necessarily have wanted to leave just yet. We don't know yet, but we will find out. This also, I'm hoping, will become a more one problem though is clearly going to be me clicking off the screen and yeah, getting locked into a run of some sort like that. So there you go. That was a bit odd. Our first run, quite piss poor, quite pitiful. Although we found a new townsfolk, which could be good. But using this, I don't know how to. There we go. I'm no longer running into nothingness. I assume that's going to be a good thing. So maybe we'll put the mouse to the side for a bit here, and we'll just go back to the old-fashioned WSAD and arrow keys and see how that works. Although I was very much enjoying... I don't like the fact that enemies can come out of there, but I suppose it's only fair. Yeah, I don't know what... how long we intend to go with this. I may fall in love with the game and just... It may scratch every itch I've got, you know, so to speak. And we may just take it, you know, forever. It may last a few episodes. We will see how it goes. Really doesn't matter, considering the big wide world doesn't really care what I do so much. And that's another mimic. God. All this time. No mimics. And then in this 2 runs, consecutive mimics. Go figure. Now, which was the totem? Totem is on a cooldown. It's not Z. Is it X? It's X. That's way too close to Z. We're going to end up binding those to Isaac keys in terms of bombs and pills and whatnot. Yeah. We'll make one a Q and one an E. Just to take things easy on my poor mind. You know, I'm an aging citizen. I can't be expected to remember new keys on top of new enemies and new floor layouts and new things to not run into. But we shall see. Yep, the interruptions abound. Never a free moment in this household, I tell you. It's an unfortunate reality, but it actually brings me to an interesting topic of conversation that I had mentioned before, which was the possibility, the perchance, the happens. Okay, now this is down a floor. I don't want to go down a floor yet. I want to see, are there shops? Are there item rooms? What are there? What is out there for me to explore and see? Oh my god, it's just more bats. Bats everywhere. I think it was there was Wizard's Lizard, and there was Our Darker Purpose. I think they came around a similar time, or I was exposed to them at a similar time anyway. And the consensus from some in the Isaac community was that there's another interruption here. And I think, yeah, the general... Just realized that I was still muted, but life goes on, right? So attacking the shopkeeper there was totally accidental. That was not intended to be the course of action that I take. And then I also discovered that that little target area seems to heal or restore your life. So it doesn't seem to be an item room. It's just a move on to the next floor kind of situation. So we shall do that. Yeah, shopkeeper was an accident. Discovered that I can get new life, and now we're gonna move on. The consensus regarding Wizard's Lizard and Our Darker Purpose back in the olden times, there, the Dark Ages. At least the consensus that I heard was that these two games were simply sort of less fleshed out, less quote-unquote not worthy, that's a bad way of putting it, just scaled down versions of Isaac, right? And so why play a scaled down version of Isaac when I could just go play Isaac? And to a certain extent that might be true, but Isaac now has been done. It has been examined and played, and videos posted of it, and all kinds of things happened with that particular game. And everything, like everything else, I think it has a lifespan, right? And at one point, or at some point rather, it should just be left to, if not die, then at least rest. Just let it have some rest. And it certainly has had rest in my Steam library, and it has had rest in my interest in watching videos of it online, and therefore, has not sparked my interest to explore on video. And but the itch still remains. Thanks for saving me. I'll contribute 500. Thank you. The itch still remains and must be scratched. You know, the beast must be fed. It cannot be ignored. Ignore at your own peril, so to speak. But yeah, interruptions also something that is rapidly moving to the top of my priority list is dealing with these interruptions. And I misspoke with assumptions there because I was assuming that this was going to be an item, and it is. Dominion? Dominion sword. I usually see that as Dominion, D-O-M. Dominion is a little different. Let's see what we can find out here. Still getting used to these controls. Dominion sword deals more damage the more Dominion gear its wielder wears, equipped to weapon sheath. Okay. So we'll be on the lookout for matching gear. That's fine. I can handle that. I can dig it, depending on how much damage it does on its own. Ring of Fire Defense. Ring of Fire Defense decreases damage taken from fire. Equipped to finger. It sure is. Oh, there's also a dash in this game. What is the dash? F? No. Tab? No. Space? No. Control? Shift? Shift is the dash. I don't know why you would want it. I guess maybe speed will become more of an issue later on, I'm going to guess. Who knows, right? But yeah, interruptions are rapidly rising to the top of my list, and my stratagem for dealing with said interruptions is going to start taking on a proper life in the form of designs and plans and a hard and fast budget on development of a so-called sound quote-unquote booth somewhere I can retire to and simply partake in the pleasures of recording, and who knows, maybe it'll get me back into the animation mode as well, but that remains to be seen. Animation is a funny issue because I left really wanting to get a particular NLSS parody type deal out, and was not able to do that because my plan called for a sort of gentle borrowing, if you will, of a particular tune, song, a couple of lines from a song, and I tried to get NL to sing that song in a rather hilariously pitiful attempt during an NLSS so that I could record his audio and then make use of it rather than use the original and risk copyright issues. So that idea kind of has been dead in the water, but still very much alive in my head and wishing that I could get it done. I may just do it and post it anyway, and then, to hell with the copyright, I'll take my chances kind of thing. Is this a boss? This is a boss. I want to leave the boss now, please. Oh. Am I going to need these explosion barrels, or... Oh wow, he's got a mace and I'm dead. That was speedy. Wish I had more Dominion gear. Wondering if there's any kind of these totems just don't seem very effective. I can be in tight. I can be in tight and not get hit by the mace. The bombs and the totems both seem very ineffective, and I wonder if that's just... I think this thing has decent range. I don't know if that's just because they're base level, or if they're just not meant to be something that you rely on for damage and whatnot. Although the totems seem specifically meant to be damaging. We're gonna take damage. I guess that's, funnily enough, that's probably a good example of when you might want to use a dash, right? Just to get away from that mace, that ball and chain swing. I know I use a dash to get rid of my ball and chain. Ha ha ha. Humor, humor, humor. Just a little bit of humor. Nothing to be offended at. I'm gonna try to clear out some of these dirt patches. There we go. And maybe, just maybe, have some room to move here. Shift, shift. No, no shift for you. Or what, maybe a third of the way through his health at the most. Ooh. But yeah, a sound booth, a recording studio, something. Like I mentioned, small town Canada, we're blessed with a little bit of space here at the old Roman residence, and it's could be time that I start making use of some of that space to a greater degree. How did I not get hit there? I feel the game was pitying me. There we go. Now the game put me out of my misery. Deserve that pitiful performance. At least we made it to a boss. That's something, I suppose. We'll see how this goes. How long this can hold my interest and scratch an itch. We'll determine how long it stays on the air. Also, you know, interruptions really impeding my commentary, it feels like. Hopefully that will improve. We will see in time, right? Who knows? Till then, thanks very much. See you soon.